Hey everybody, thanks very much for joining me today. It's a beautiful day. Got a dumping of snow last night. So today is the day I'm going to get my knife collection video out. It's been asked for many times, so today is the day. So thanks for asking for it over the years, and thanks for reminding me. It's something that you'd want to see. I do appreciate that. And I'll just explain a little bit how I collect knives. I have a couple of collections. I collect watches, I collect knives, and I kind of approach them the same way. Now, when I'm collecting, I don't keep everything that I buy. I buy, sell, trade. I do a lot of things just to keep things moving in, things moving out. I do that so I can try a lot of different knives. I also do that because I like to keep it smaller, manageable, and I like to keep things that I really do love. So it's not an extensive collection because of that reason, and after a while you kind of get it to the point of where you like it, and at that point I made a rule: one knife in, one knife out. So if I buy something, I really think about it, because I know that I have to make a decision and sacrifice and get rid of something. So that's the state of my collection right now. I'm going to go over some folders, some survival knives, and then some bushcraft knives, show you what I have. And should be a nice day. Coffee's on, let's get started. So we can start off with the folders. I don't have a ton of folders, and I don't have anything that's really fancy. I have mainly things that you would EDC. So we'll start off with these two from Victorinox. This is the Camper, and this is the Farmer. They're similar in a lot of ways, but it's worth having both because they are different as well. So here's the Camper. Now I do really like this knife. It has a large blade, a small blade, a bottle top lifter, screwdriver, wire stripper, over here a can opener, a little flathead screwdriver over there. These tools are all accessed from this side. And there's one other tool. You're going to see a theme with my folding knives. There's another tool that I really like, and there is a saw available on the Camper. Really nice saw, actually. So that saw comes in really handy for crafting. Can't go wrong with having a saw. And on this side there is a corkscrew, which I have used, and also an awl. Now this awl is a sewing awl. There's a hole. You can sew leather with this, or you can just bore holes in wood, plastic. Comes in very handy to have an awl on these pocket knives. And there's a toothpick and a nice tweezer on these ones. Handy as anything to have a little Victorinox knife. So this is actually kind of a flashy knife, I think, with the A-lock scales. You can get a lot of different colored scales on this one. And these are all the tools available on the Farmer. You have a can opener with a little screwdriver. You also have a wire stripper, pry bar, another screwdriver. It'll lift bottle tops. Nice saw. Again, I like the saws on these Victorinox tools. And about a 2.5 inch blade. These are all non-locking, by the way, so you have to remember that. The steel isn't fantastic on these tools. It's not bad either, and they're very easy to sharpen. Now the awl is a little different on this one. It doesn't have the hole to receive the thread, but you can use it to drill holes in leather, plastic, wood, anything you want, and the orientation is a little different. So you hold it like this. I like my saws. I like my awls. Here's another Victorinox knife. This is the Forester M Grip. Now, Victorinox makes a lot of knives that look similar to this. They are all a little bit different. Some have flat blades, some have serrated blades. I chose the Forester. Well, you'll see why. And one thing I like about the Forester and the knives like this, they're one-handed openings. You know, the other ones I showed you are two-handed openings. Nothing worse than having this hand busy, having to drop what you're doing to open your knife. One-handed opening is the way to go for me. And that's specifically why I bought this knife so I could have a Victorinox with the one-handed opening. And the blade also locks, which is very nice. And on the other end, you have a bottle lifter with a little wire stripper, pry bar, screwdriver. That locks as well. The only two tools that lock on this are those two tools. Some of the other tools available on this little knife are this can opener with a little flathead screwdriver, and it's a Forester, so there better be a saw. And the saw on this one is a little bit longer, a little more stout. It is non-locking, so something to be aware of. And on this side, another corkscrew and another awl. I do like my awls, as you can see. They come in handy, really handy, more than you may think. Now, why did I get the Forester? Because the Ranger, instead of a corkscrew, it comes with a Phillips screwdriver. Well, I had trouble finding one with a non-serrated blade, first of all, and I do use the corkscrew occasionally, and I thought, you know what? One of these little flathead screwdrivers will likely fit in most small Phillips head screws. So I thought this was a good choice for me to get the Forester, and I do like the grip on it. Sweet little blade. Glad I got this one. It's not too heavy for the pocket, but you certainly wouldn't want a pocket knife any bigger or heavier than this one. So almost all my folders are multi-tools actually, and this is my Leatherman Charge, and it sits in this little case. This is a case left over from an old knife I bought years ago. It was a K-Bar Buck 110 copy, and the K-Bar knife did not last, but the sheath has lasted. I modified it a little bit, cut it down. Fits my Charge beautifully. Although the Leatherman did come with a case, I prefer this one. This is the 25th anniversary edition. And the main thing about the Charge is the blades are accessible with one hand, and they're available to you without opening up the tool. That's why it's my favorite Leatherman. So it comes with a serrated, non-serrated blade. Also comes with a really good file, and it comes with a saw. Now, this saw is thicker than the Victorinox saws. Not necessarily better, but it does work very well. And the tools available on this are really handy. I actually rehafted a hatchet using only this tool and a hammer, and it worked out beautifully. Nice needle nose pliers on this, wire cutters and strippers, and on the inside here, a scissor. Scissors are handy to have, especially for cutting bandages and things like that, first aid. This is a micro screwdriver, and here we have a little pry bar. Now these tools are locking, which is really nice. The locking system is easy to engage and disengage on the Leatherman. Sweet can opener. I do prefer this can opener over the Victorinox. Sorry, Victorinox fans. And screwdriver bits. And I have a kit with different screwdrivers that I can fit in there. It's a well-built tool, and they have a good warranty. So happy with this Leatherman Charge. It's my favorite multi-tool actually. There is a pocket clip you can attach to this. I use it in the pouch attached to my belt. I never go in the woods without this. It's been so handy in the past. Another Leatherman, this is the rebar. It's a good tool as well. I don't enjoy using it quite as much because all the tools are accessible from the inside. You actually have to open up the tool to get them. But a nice set of tools. We have a saw, Phillips head screwdriver, can opener, a serrated blade here, and all these tools are locking. On the other side, a non-serrated blade, a little pry bar, an awl, and a little flathead screwdriver, and a file. The file is really cool. I've used it before. It does a great job. The pliers are really good on this. Replaceable wire cutters don't know if it's a little bit lighter than the Charge. It usually sits in my truck or something like that. It's a good tool, but I don't like it as much as the Charge. Just a couple more. Opinel number 8. And with that Leatherman 25th anniversary Charge, they gave you a little pocket knife. Nothing special, but it's light, does the job. First of all, I want to apologize if you're getting any smoke in front of the camera. The wind is swirling down here today. I cannot predict which way it's going to go. And unfortunately, it's going usually in front of the camera. So bear with me, please. So let's talk about survival knives. And what's a survival knife? Well, any knife can be a survival knife. That's the mantra that people keep saying over and over again. And it's true. But survival knives are made to a little bit tougher standard, I believe. They're usually more weather resistant, and you get the feeling you could throw anything at it and it's going to come out the other side virtually unharmed. Bushcraft knives can be very tough, and they usually are very tough, but they have more in mind to working wood. So to me, that's the main difference. The main thing is not get yourself in a survival situation, let's be honest, you know, but that's a whole nother video. This knife I really like. It's from a company called Yahti. They're a Swedish company. This is the KNV2, I believe. Nice size knife. Full tang, exposed pommel. The grip is like a rubber style overlay. Has a nice grip on it. Convex grind. Sharpening choil, which is nice. You don't always see that. And I've taken this as my main knife on canoe trips because it's not really that heavy, gets the jobs done, and I really do like it. It's a fantastic knife. The KNV2 from Yahti, and the sheath is also very nicely done as well. So can we really talk about the survival knife category without talking about Falkniven? I don't think so, because the F1, the most famous knife, was designed as a survival knife for the Swedish Air Force. And it is a great knife, and this one is the F1X. It's a little bit different than the F1. It's beefier. It's the one I chose to buy. I really think it's a great knife. I mean, full tang. It's thicker than the regular F1. Removable slabs. And it's made out of laminated cause steel. Absolutely weather resistant, weatherproof. You could put this in your dishwasher if you needed to. And it's a tough blade. Like, you have the feeling like you will never break this, although it is possible, I'm sure. A lot of people hate on Falkniven sheaths. And this one on the F1X is a little bit better. The sheaths on the whole X series are a little bit different. This one doesn't rattle. There's a little lock on the side here that you can engage. And people complain, I've done it myself, that these are a little bit on the thin side. And I guess they are, but a comment was made to me, and I really do think it was a good comment, is that the F1 particularly was designed as a survival knife for the Swedish Air Force, something they would clip to their vest. So you wanted something that was thin, not thick and dangly, that would get caught on something. So there was some thought put into making a thin knife, very capable, one that would strap to the pilot's vest. So I think that's why they are thin. But I do really like the F1X. I take it on a lot of camping trips with me. You don't always see it, but you know, it's there. The cast steel is decent. It's easy to keep sharp, and it holds an edge decent, pretty well. I just have some paracord wrapped around the sheath and a Ranger band with a fire steel. So I like the F1X so much, I bought the S1X, and this again is an absolute beast. Comes in the upgraded sheath, a little bit bigger. This one has a coating on it. Once again, a little bit bigger, a little more capable, but not too big. I'm not sure, that might be a 5-inch blade. The scales are removable on the X series if you ever want to take them off and clean them. And the texture on the scales is quite aggressive, just to let you know. But you know, it's a pretty sweet blade. Exposed tang at the end with a lanyard. I like these knives. I like the X series. And one day maybe I'll get a hold of the regular F1. You never know. And I like that one so much, I got this one. the A1X. Now, this is as big of a survival knife as you'll ever need. The coating is pretty decent on these. Same story, removable scales, exposed tang, thick stock. Like, you're never gonna have an issue with this. I feel like you could do anything to this and it'd come out the other side just perfectly. So these three knives from the X series, the F1X, S1X, and A1X, you know, I really think they're great knives, and I do really like Falkneven knives. But I have to comment, they are expensive. I mean, I traded something for this one, so it didn't cost me any actual cash. And I bought these two used at a really big discount, like probably half of their retail value. So I was okay spending that much money. But they are expensive, but they are excellent as well. So are they overpriced? Maybe not. Probably not. You know, these are a Swedish company, but the knives are made in Japan, so there's some shipping back and forth. High labor costs in Japan, but their standards are extremely high. So are they overpriced? Probably not, but they are expensive. So that's why I got these in the secondary market, but excellent knives. I'm glad I have them. Getting dripped on. Need to patch my roof. This coffee's gonna be good. So while I have my coffee, maybe I'll ask you to subscribe if you haven't. It'd be much appreciated. It helps out the channel a lot. It helps out the algorithm. And if you give a thumbs up and leave a comment, you wouldn't believe how much it helps the channel, and I really do appreciate reading all your comments. So far, what's your favorite knife that you've seen? Which is one that you don't have that you'd consider buying? And what do you think the difference between a bushcraft knife and a survival knife is? Or do you believe there's any difference at all? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. Well, that coffee was delicious, and thanks for sticking around. If you're still here, I appreciate it. So we're going to talk about bushcraft knives, but first a couple of budget knives. When I say budget, yes, they are inexpensive, but it doesn't mean that they're of poor quality. And you could buy one of these knives and never upgrade to something more expensive and be perfectly happy. There's nothing wrong with these knives. You can buy multiples at once, put them in different packs. You can keep one in your vehicle as an emergency knife. I keep one down here in the woodshed, so I always have a knife down here to use. And it's just a smart thing to do to have some of these inexpensive knives. This one I like particularly. It's the Woodlores OK4. It's part of the outdoor knife series. Now Woodlores makes a lot of knives that are, you know, more for tradesmen and things like that, but they work equally well in the woods. This one has a beautiful grip, bit of a rubber overlay. It's a rat tang probably to about here. Now Woodlores on their website, they used to anyway, say that this knife is tough, it's suitable for batoning. So Woodlores is saying this is a tough knife, even though it's not a full tang knife. Whether you agree with batoning or not, Woodlores says you can baton this one. So it's good to hear when the manufacturer says that they have some confidence in the blade. The OK4, really nice blade. I like it a lot. The sheath is decent, does the job. Belt clip, you can remove the belt loop and hang it on a button if you like. And this particular one comes with a ferro rod loop as well, so you can add a ferro rod to this little combo. I really like the Woodlores OK4, worth considering. So Moras, I have a couple Moras here. The Mora Companions, one an HD, one the regular Companion. They're both fantastic knives. The regular one is a little bit thinner stock, 1095 steel, an excellent, very comfortable handle, bit of a grip to it. I really do like it a lot. I've modified this one for neck carry. They're cheap enough that you can modify them. I've added a ferro rod to this one. Really nice little knife, and the HD is exactly the same, just a little bit thicker stock, a little more capable. Now you could buy one of these, never upgrade, be perfectly happy, that's for sure. What can you say about a Mora Companion? They're just great knives. Now these are the only two Moras I currently own. I've had Mora number 1s. I gave them away to a friend. I've had a Garberg. I gave the Garberg away to a family member who was putting a kit together, and I wanted him to have a good knife to start with. The Mora Eldris, I've given those away as gifts. I've given away a few other companions as gifts. I really do like handing them out because they're just an excellent knife. Oh, in fact, this one I received as a gift from a subscriber several years ago. I still have it. I still use it. It's a fantastic knife. Thanks again. The Moras are great. You know, have a couple of them. If you lose one, you can replace it the next day, basically. So the rest of my knives are pretty much custom bushcraft knives. And you know, when you step over into the custom territory, you know you've got it bad. You know, you're probably talking about knives a little more than you should, thinking about knives a little more than you should. Some guys even dream about knives. Like, not me, that would be crazy. But you know, it's a significant step. They're beautiful. Sometimes they're better than a knife that you can just buy off the shelf. So custom knives are really fun to collect, and every collector eventually steps over to that territory. So let's start with this one here. This is from Battle Horse Knives. It's a neck knife, obviously. If you're not into neck knives, why are you not into neck knives? It's really a convenient way to carry a knife. And this one is called the Jump Jack. It's a little boat tail Scandi, they call them. Green micarta. Scandi grind. Very nice little knife. Great for fire prep. An excellent little carver. I think this one was A2 steel. Full tang. I believe this is a discontinued model, but who knows? If you ask nicely, they might make you one. Battle Horse Knives Jump Jack. Cool little blade. The sheath is actually nice, made out of very thick leather. You could put it on your belt if you chose. Some people like that. Sits on my neck. You hardly know it's there. Get yourself a neck knife. Next, a beautiful knife from a Canadian knife maker, Derek Tappan from Triple X Knives. Sadly, he's not making knives anymore, so I'm very happy that he was able to make this one for me. Now, this is A2 steel. It's a very small, light knife, which is what I wanted. Kind of looks like a Mora Companion, I would say. This one is a full height convex grind, and it's beautifully done, beautifully blended. Black with red liners. Derek did a nice job. Very comfortable. Just the perfect little palm swell. Kind of just fills your hand perfectly. Good little bushcraft knife. You put a sharpening choil in there. And as I said, he did a beautiful job blending this convex grind. Excellent knife from Derek. So here we have a Woodlore style knife from an American company, Adventure Sworn Knives. This is a recent purchase for me. I'd wanted one for a long time, but they were very difficult to get. For a short time they closed their custom books, so they were near impossible to get. So I bought this on the secondary market from a friend who was clearing out some of his knives, and I was extremely happy to get it. Now, workmanship is next level on this one, that's for sure. Starting with the leather work. Like, it's flawless. The leather work is flawless. Nice brass hardware. A gorgeous, gorgeous knife. As I said, it's a Woodlore style. Let's get it out of the sheath. So here's the Adventure Sworn Classic. In 01 tool steel. White linen micarta with red liners. Now this was a custom order. I didn't order it, as I said, I bought it secondhand. But oddly enough, this is exactly the knife I would have ordered from Adventuresworn had I ordered it myself. I love the Woodlore style. This one is very close to the original Woodlore design that Ray Mears designed and executed by Alan Wood. Gorgeous knife. The workmanship is incredible. I don't know if you can read Adventuresworn on the spine. And down here, 01 Tool Steel USA. Very nice blade. Fits your hand perfectly, as a bushcraft knife should. Works wood beautifully as well. Very happy to get this. I mean, Ray Mears knows a thing or two about knives, I'm sure. Here's another Woodlore style knife from LT Wright, the GNS, but before I get this one out of the sheath, I wanted to show you the sheath because this is from Sagewood Gear, the Deluxe Scout Carry sheath, and it's an absolute work of art, if you ask me. It's something that you can wear in various styles, various positions, from off your belt to dangler to scout carry. It's just an amazing knife. The quality is outstanding, and I guess it's a bit of a collector's item because he doesn't make these sheaths anymore. Now this sheath was made actually for a Tops Bob, a knife I used to own, but with a slight modification it fits the GNS beautifully. So I want to show you that sheath. Let's take a look at the knife. So the knife fits beautifully, almost like it was made for it. Very nice. Here's the knife itself. Now, this used to be my most used knife, and for good reason. It's just an excellent knife. It's a saber grind. Don't discount a saber grind knife. Every knife you own doesn't need to be a Scandi. The saber grind is an excellent grind. It's strong, it works well in wood, and it's also great for food prep. So I really do love this knife. It fits me nicely, beautifully actually. I'm not sure if this was 01 or A2 steel. Either way, it's a high carbon steel. Brown micarta. Very natural looking, which I do like. And what can I say about LT? Like, they're semi-custom to a custom knife maker. I mean, you can order custom from them, and you can buy just ready-made ones out of their store, and you will be happy. They do a very good job. I have a couple, and I'm happy with both of them. The GNS, it stands for Go No Show. It's a very no-nonsense, good bushcraft knife. Another knife from LT Wright. This is the Genesis, and this is the Larry Roberts edition. A little bit different than the regular Genesis, slightly different dimensions, I believe. This one's black with white liners. It's a Kephart style knife. Kephart style knives have been around for a long time, and they're going to be around for a long time still because they're just great knives. They work that well. So here's another blade from an American knife maker, Sargent Edge Tools. One thing you'll notice about Sargent Edge Tools when you see one is the leather work is outstanding. Really good quality, thick, heavy leather. This has been dipped in beeswax to make it more water resistant and to hold the knife better. Beautiful job. We'll get this out of the sheath for you. And look at the scales on this. I hope I'm getting a focus. That is micarta and carbon fiber with beautiful orange liners. Nice blade shape as well. Nice belly. Scandi grind, CPM 3V on this one. Moving forward into a bit of Skookum territory, knives that are Skookum Bush tool inspired, I would say. This is from Rob Evans, and this is his MK tribute knife. Now MK, of course, is Morris Kohansky. He made this according to Morris's description of what he thought a perfect knife was. And it is a lovely bushcraft knife, I must say. 3 pins on this one, exposed pommel. Nice grind on this one, very strong. Beautiful belly. You've seen this a lot on the channel. Very nice bushcraft knife, that's for sure. Another one from Rob Evans. This is his bush tool. Now, I bought this one because I had been waiting so long for my Skookum Bush tool, I couldn't wait any longer. So I ordered this one because I thought it was the best copy out there. And it is a beautiful Skookum Bush tool clone. Rob has no problem saying he cloned the bush tool for this one. Although he did change the grind to something that he felt was a little better, a little stronger. Did a beautiful job, black with some orange liners. I like a bit of orange, as I said. Rob did a great job on this one, that's for sure. So I've saved the best for last. This Skookum Bush tool, the knife that I waited over 6 years to get. Designed and built by Rod Garcia in Montana, with substantial input from Morris Kohansky. But it is a Rod Garcia design. Nice butt plate. This is CPM 3V. Was it worth the wait? I think so. Probably my most comfortable knife. I'm going to say it is my most comfortable knife, that's for sure. 2 tubes, 3 pins as an option on this knife. Very, very privileged to have one. The sheath is designed to be worn around the neck, as you can see, and it's kind of different. I like it. Some people say it's ugly. But it's a very classic Nordic design meant to be worn around your neck, stitched up the back. And this one as well, dipped in beeswax for added protection from the elements and to help hold the knife in nice and tight. 6 long years, it was worth it. So if you're on the waiting list for a Skookum Bush tool, keep waiting. It seems like you're never going to get one, but eventually you'll get that email saying your knife is ready. Don't worry, it takes many years. But if you are on the waiting list, don't get upset because I was able to get a second one. I bought this in the secondary market. They're available, they are out there. I bought this one from a friend. I got a really good deal on it. This one is 01 tool steel. Except for that, it's virtually identical. Virtually identical. It was never used. He never used it. I was really happy to get this one as well. To have 2 of them, well, that's just amazing. You're lucky enough to be able to get one. And if you're collecting, now I have one that can stay in the drawer and one that I can use. Thankfully, I'm able to squeeze one more cup of coffee out of this pot. It's still hot. Thanks very much for watching the video. I do appreciate it. Thanks for your patience. It took quite a while to get this video out, and thank you for suggesting it. It's much appreciated. So, what's your favorite knife in the collection? Let me know down below. If you saw some gaps, what do you think I should fill it with? What knives are missing from my collection? Let me know. Of course, there's knives I'm interested in obtaining, or knives that I've given away or sold in the past and getting back again. I need another buck 110. I've been looking for one for a while. Stores around me are sold out. I don't really want to buy one online. I want to physically lay my hands on it before I put my money down. I'd like to get maybe something from TRC one day, but probably not. LT Wright Lagoon with an orange handle. I love one of those. They're tough to get. Jack Lore won't answer my emails. I guess I'm not worthy for one of his knives, but he makes some gorgeous knives too. You can't have everything. I'm happy with what I have, thanks very much for watching. Take care, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.